After more than a year of debate and delays, a major part of the Biden agenda is on the brink of becoming reality. Right now, the Senate is in the process of passing the Inflation Reduction Act, as it's called, in the face of fierce Republican opposition. The bill was given new life this week by Democratic Senator Kyrsten Sinema, who offered party leaders her support in exchange for new tax proposals. If it passes, it would be the biggest legislative climate investment in U.S. history and make major changes to health policy. CNN congressional correspondent Jessica Dean is up on Capitol Hill for us. Jessica, earlier in the week, this was about getting Kyrsten Sinema on board, but now Senator Bernie Sanders says the bill does not go far enough. What does that mean?
Well, he certainly represents the further left of the Democratic Party. And look, wrangling all 50 of these Democratic senators has been no small feat. As you mentioned, getting Senator Kyrsten Sinema on board, getting Senator Joe Manchin on board. We do know we talked to Senator Sanders a little bit ago. He wants to offer some amendments. But ultimately, we do believe that this bill will move forward. Jim, the question is just when. This is a very, very lengthy, complex, tedious process that they are using, a very specific budget process that they're using to get this bill through. Let me tell you a little bit about what's actually in this bill. There are a lot of climate provisions, about $369 billion worth of climate provisions. It represents the biggest climate investment to come out of the U.S. Senate ever. They are hoping that it will reduce carbon emissions by about 40% by 2030. There's also some tax incentives in there to kind of push renewables, among other things. There's also some healthcare components in here. It would allow Medicare to negotiate the price of some drugs, about 10 drugs by the year 2026, and then extending as the years go by beyond that. It would be the first time Medicare would be able to do that. Democrats had wanted it to be bigger, but this is about what they could get. And also expanding those healthcare subsidies for the Affordable Care Act, those insurance subsidies for the Affordable Care Act for an additional 3 years. Now, to pay for all of this, there are some tax components to this as well, including a 15% minimum corporate tax that they want to build in, as well as a 1% excise tax on stock buybacks. And again, getting Joe Manchin on board meant that they really wanted to make sure this was paid for and that it could actually bring down the deficit. So that is something that's important to them. And to that end, we are now waiting on a couple of things to move forward. Both the Senate parliamentarian needs to rule on a few more things, again, because they're using this complex process. And then also we do need to get those scores back from the Congressional Budget Office. They're going to be able to score this, say how much it's going to cost and what that's going to do to the deficit. So those are the two things we're waiting on. Here's Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer earlier today.
We have a bill before us that can win the support of all 50 Democrats. I'm happy to report to my colleagues that the bill we presented to the parliamentarian remains largely intact. The bill, when passed, will meet all of our goals: fighting climate change, lowering health care costs, closing tax loopholes abused by the wealthy, and reducing the deficit.
Now, as you can imagine, Senate Republicans are quite unified against this. In fact, once they move into what's known as vote-a-rama, where they can go on for hours voting on amendments, Senator Lindsey Graham had a very specific way of describing what that's going to be like. Take a listen.
So what will vote-a-rama be like? It'll be like hell. They deserve this. As much as I admire Joe Manchin and Sinema for standing up to the radical left at times, they're empowering legislation that will make the average person's life more difficult.
All right, so Jem, now we sit and wait for them to move forward on what's known as the motion to proceed. That is likely being the key word, to come later this afternoon, early evening. But again, this is very fluid at this point. We'll, of course, keep you updated.
And of course, they're watching with bated breath over at the White House to see if this actually goes through. All right, Jessica Dean, thank you very much. I'm joined now by Democratic Senator Ben Cardin of Maryland. Senator, let's start with the name of this legislation. It's called the Inflation Reduction Act. You just heard Senator Lindsey Graham a few moments ago saying that this is not going to help the average American out there. What do you have to say to Lindsey Graham? Is that correct?
Well, Jim, first, it's good to be with you. It will help the average American. It will bring down the cost of health care by putting a cap on prescription drug costs. It will bring down the cost of energy in this country, saving Americans on their fuel bills and on their energy costs. It will help deal with our climate challenges, and it brings down the deficit. All of that means it will help us in dealing with the cost issues that average Americans are facing, and will be positive in responding to inflationary pressures.
And we just heard from the Republicans and their complaints about this piece of legislation. As you know, Senator Bernie Sanders on the other side of the spectrum doesn't think it goes far enough. Here's what he had to say on the Senate floor.
We have legislation which, unlike the original Build Back Better plan, ignores the needs of the working families of our country in child care, pre-K, the expansion of Medicare, affordable housing, home health care, higher education, and many, many other desperate needs.
Do you think there's going to be an opportunity to address some of the senator's concerns that he just specified there, or is this the last big piece of the Biden agenda that's going to make it through Congress before the midterms?
Make no mistake about it, this bill is very, very key in moving forward on health care costs, on energy costs, on climate challenges, on dealing with inflation. It's a major step forward. But is it the end of what we need to do? No. There's other issues we need to address. We need to address the housing crisis in this country. We need to deal with the cost of child care. These are other issues. But in this bill, there's so many important things that we're getting done, and it is a major step forward. But certainly it's not the end of our attention to help families deal with the costs that they're suffering today.
And Senator, as you know, there were some concessions made as part of this deal to secure the backing of Senator Sinema and Senator Manchin. Are you comfortable with, I guess, the existing political reality here in Washington that the Biden agenda always seems to hinge on these two senators?
When you have a 50-50 Senate, you have to make sure that when you're moving on a bill like this, you have all 50 Democratic senators together. That's not easy, but we were successful in this case. We're successful in regards to the substance of the bill that we have on moving forward with climate and health care, et cetera, but it also the way we pay for it. It's a way that will not affect those who have income under $400,000. It will close loopholes so that corporations that they're not paying any taxes will now have to pay some taxes. It deals with collections, particularly high-income taxpayers who are not paying their fair share. So it really is dealing with fairness in our system. So yes, I am satisfied that this bill hits all the points that are important, and it would be a major accomplishment by getting this done.
And Senator, I mean, there's no two ways about it. This has been a good week for President Biden. In addition to this economic package, climate package moving forward, there was the successful operation to kill the al-Qaeda leader, Ayman al-Zawahiri, the passing of the PACT Act for military veterans exposed to burn pits. We saw that jobs report just yesterday. Big numbers in the jobs report. Gas prices are going down. But you still hear some of this conversation going on among Democrats about whether or not the president should run for re-election. Do you think that this is going to tamp some of that down?
Well, this has certainly been a good week for the Biden administration. We also passed the accession of Finland and Sweden into NATO. So we got a lot done this past week. It's been a good week. President Biden has a great record. I think we're focused on the midterm elections right now. So let's get through the midterm elections before we start speculating on the next presidential elections.
Does this help the midterms for the Democrats, do you think? Does this brighten your prospects? I mean, there have been a lot of concerns in your party up until this point that you could lose, if not the House, both the House and the Senate this fall. Does this legislation today, if it goes through, change that?
Oh, absolutely. It builds on a great record that we have. Clearly, what we've been able to accomplish during this past week will help us in our midterm elections. But quite frankly, the passage of the American Rescue Plan and what that meant in keeping our economy afloat, the creation of jobs, as you saw in the job report, all of that are positive ways of dealing with our economy that will certainly help us in the midterm elections. And I must tell you, the concern about a women's right of reproductive choice, that's going to help us in the midterm elections. So there's a lot of issues that have become front and center lately that we think will help us in keeping control of both the House and the Senate.
All right, we'll have to see about that. November is going to come up pretty quickly. Senator Ben Cardin, thanks very much for your time. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Jim.